Okay. Tell the story.
No, a woman from a couple of houses down came over to see my mother. And do you remember the children's food used to come in beech nut
Yeah.
containers,
Glass
glass
jars.
containers, that kind of thing? She came in and she said, "Mrs. Lennox, I made this jelly. I don't know what, I don't remember what grapes it was or whatever. Anyway, she says, could you buy this from me?" So my mother says, huh? Why do you need it? She said, 10 cents is what I want for this. 10 cents. What are you going to do with the 10 cents? We can buy a loaf of bread. So my mother bought it. Can you imagine that? A loaf of bread, 10 cents. In those days, there were no supermarkets. You went down to the local grocery store, and you bought whatever you had, and they marked it in a book. And when at the end of the month, you had to come in and settle up. Everybody trusted you, so we did that. My brother was 10 years older than me. He always told this story. This is his story. He lied about his age because he wanted to get into the CCCs during the Depression. And that's the Civilian Conservation Corps. The best program the federal government, bar none, in my mind, did for the people. People were down and out. Banks closed. My father lost money in the bank and all that. That's another story. But anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Your brother lying about his age.
Yeah, and anyway, he got my father to sign. You had to get the okay from your parents to go to the CCC. So he went. And he was out in Oregon, of all places. It's crazy things. And anyway, they paid him $25 or maybe $30 a month for working in the CCC. But the rule was you could keep $5 for yourself when you on payday. Do whatever you want with it. Go to the canteen, and it was run by the Army. They had camps all over the United States, and he would keep $5 for himself, and then had to send the $25 home. That was the whole point of the program. Give you some money so you can survive. And he used to tell me, he said, "Ed, that $25 a month that I sent home, that paid for the book, the monthly book in the grocery store. It paid for you any utilities that you had, and paid for the rent." I don't know how much the rent was.
Wow.
I know when we finally moved out, I know the rent was $18 a month. Yeah, yeah, for a 3-room apartment, cold water, a toilet no bigger than that cabinet squared. Pull a chain, water closet up there. You always knew when the neighbors when you pull the chain, you hear the roar of the water coming down to flush. Oh, wonderful living. Yeah, the good old days. Yeah, and then my brother got out of the CCCs, hitchhiked home. From there, he didn't want to spend any money, and got home. got a job at the Manhattan Rubber Company in Passaic, worked there, and then World War II broke out. He said, I don't want to go to the Army or the Marines, like some of his buddies were signing up. Everybody was patriotic. It was no one thought about it twice, at least not his friends. They either joined the Army or Marines. He joined the Navy. Everyone, Navy? You've never been to the ocean yet. So anyway, so he went, and he made it through the war.
How could you live in New Jersey and never go to the ocean? It's right here.
Well, he was what, 18?
Yeah, all right, it makes sense. But
he went later when he got discharged, and he became a Jersey Shore fanatic.
Yeah.
He and my sister, my brother-in-law, they all went down to Jersey Shore. Manhattan Rubber closed down for 2 weeks every summer for vacation. They all went to Wildwood. So it was quite a time. Yeah. But we got through it. I had my first job. You had to be 16 to work. You had to have working papers, that they called them. I never had working papers. I walked into the People's Restaurant in Passaic. He looked at me. I was big for my age. I don't know. I was 14 or 15. You old enough to work? Yeah. Okay. The catering business. Worked on weekends only. He did weddings and banquets, chicken and peas. And so our job, I wasn't alone. They hired a crew to set up the tables wherever it was, and bring the dishes and dish out the food, and then waitresses served the people and then brought it in. We had to take it back to the restaurant and clean up, do the dishes. And so, if you had a wedding of 100 people, you had a lot of dishes to wash and so on. And we did that, and you know what I got paid? $3 for the night. $3.
That's a lot.
That was my first job. $3. Brought it home, gave it to my father. He never spent it. Never. He was the banker of the family. So when the banks closed, everybody lost their money. If you had money in a bank, forget it. They gave you stock instead. The federal government came in, and so my father got some stock for the bank, and he held on to it. And the bank changed hands. I don't know how many times. All different entities, and the stock goes with it. Well, by the time he passed, he had, I don't know how much shares he had. But it was a good thing that he held on to it. Because when he passed, my mother got Social Security when she was old enough and could no longer work herself. And my father was so ill with the coal dust illness that he wasn't working for years. And so my mother worked in the woolen mills and took care of my father, took care of me, all that business, worried about everybody else. And we got through it. It was not a tough time, but I had good parents. They loved me, I loved them. We got along. Yeah, the good old days. Not so good. Yeah. I probably forgot a lot of stories too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Your boyhood pastime of rat slugging for entertainment.
Yeah. One of the things that came in the general neighborhood was the Dundee Canal. I don't know if you remember, but there's a dam on the Passaic River between Garfield and Clifton.
Mm-hmm.
And they built the canal in 1850s from that point to feed the woolen mills, the other industries, all the way down into Passaic for the water power. In 1850s, they were still using water wheels. Of course, later it was all discarded, but the canal was always there. Sometimes underground, they paved it over. In some places and other places, it was water was still there, running. And so on. What Nancy's saying is, "Want to have some fun, boys? Hey guys, yeah, let's go down and slug rats." Yeah, so you pick up a piece of wood, 2x4 or whatever, and they would burrow into the side of the canal. These rats, and you'd wait there, wait. Stupid, but you know, when you're 9, 10, you wait and the damn thing come out. Wham! Hey, look at it! Look at me!
That's just pest control.
And these days, New York City is having this rat problem. They could bring back the sport. All those little 9-year-old boys could. The rat czar would have her team.
Look at that.
What?
You know, we had wonderful neighbors when you grew up here. The wee artists. Now, I think we have transients.
Although they
never know who they are. I have no idea.
Same people, though.